All right, this is 607 limit practice, and I picked some examples to do together with you. So I'm going to go through and do 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 if you want to try them first. And then you can go back and try these odds using the methods from this week. All right, so I've got a limit going to infinity. So if you remember, you compare the powers of the numerator and the denominator, and you follow one of the rules. In this case, the numerator is going to win. So this is either going to tend towards positive or negative infinity. When I plug in negative infinity and cube it, I get a negative number in the numerator. When I plug in negative big number and square it, I get a positive number in the denominator. So this limit will go to negative infinity because a negative divided by a positive is a negative. All right, number 4. This is going to need to look at the graph because -2 is the asymptote of this rational function, and I want to see what is the graph doing as it approaches the asymptote from the right-hand side. So I'm going to look at this graph on the graphing calculator. So I'm graphing x plus 5, there we go, divided by x plus 2. And I want to see what is it doing at this -2 asymptote on the right-hand side. So you can see that the right-hand side looks like it's tending towards positive infinity. All right, this time I'm trying to find the limit. These are all arrows, by the way. It was a badly written arrow. X is approaching -2. All right, when I plug in -2, can I do it? Let's see, I would get positive 4, and then I would get -10, and I would get +6. That gives me 0 in the denominator. So I must have to factor the numerator factors x plus 2, x minus 2. The denominator factors, what are the factors of 6 that add up to 5? So x plus 2, x plus 3. My x plus 2's cancel. Now I can take that -2 and plug it in. I would get -4 over +1. So I get -4 as my limit. All right. Do I plug in 0? I get 0 in the denominator, so I might be able to factor this. I can factor out an x, and that will leave me x minus 2, and x is in the denominator. The x's cancel out. When I plug in 0, it looks like I get -2. And I chose number 10 because this is one of those conjugate examples. So you may want to pause the video and try example 10 before I show you how to do it. Your conjugate is going to be the square root of x plus 1 plus 1. Square root of x plus 1 plus 1. So this just turns into x plus 1. Outer and inner adds up to 0. -1 times 1 is -1. It gives me x in my numerator. So I have 7x times square root of x plus 1 all in my denominator. The x cancels out, so now I have 1 over all that stuff. I'm plugging in 0. When I plug in 0, I get the square root of 1, which is 1, plus 1, which is 2, times 7, which is 14. So 1/14 is the answer. There we go. So the answer is 1/14. All right, then you're going to use this graph to answer some questions. I'm just going to lead you through A, B, and C, and you can see if you can answer the rest, or you could try A, B, and C first. All right, so A says, what is the limit as x approaches 0 from the left-hand side? So here's 0. Here's the left-hand side of 0. The y value that I'm approaching is 0. What about 0 from the right-hand side? The y value that I'm approaching over here is +2. Do those match up with each other? No, they do not. So the overall limit does not exist. So you're going to go back try the odds on the front page, try the rest of problem 11, try the ones on the back. I thought I would pick 20, 21, and 22 on the back, and then you can try using this graph. All right, so I'm trying to approach 4 from the right-hand side. 4 looks like it's going to be the asymptote, so this is actually similar to one that we've already done. X minus 6 over x minus 4. I'm looking at 4's asymptote, but from the right-hand side. So this time I'm pointing towards negative infinity. Excuse me. Number 21. I'm plugging in negative infinity, and I grow at the same rate, x over x. So the rule when your powers are the same in the numerator and denominator is to strip the coefficients. 1x divided by 1x is 1. It doesn't even matter that I'm plugging in negative infinity. I'm stripping the coefficients is the rule. All right, and then 22 was an example where you might have to simplify before you can factor. I can't plug in 0, but I can multiply out x minus 3 times x minus 3. So I would get x squared minus 3x is minus 6x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Subtract off a 9, that adds up to 0. I have x squared minus 6x over x. I can factor out an x. So x times x minus 6 over x, cancel out the x's. Now plug in my 0. 0 minus 6 is negative 6 is the answer. And you are going to work through the rest of the practice problems.